Afternoon, everybody. We should be live, and we are currently at the Gold Coast. So here we go. So the deal today, before I start this mighty 5 litre, is while I'm here, I'm going to drive from the Gold Coast back to Brisbane this afternoon. I've finished my day's work, and about 3:30 in the afternoon, something like that, 3:45, and we're going to do a quick lap of the Surfers Paradise Indy track. Well, I can show you where the Indy track used to be, which then leads on to the current Gold Coast 400 circuit. So let's fire this. And just getting a few things ready here on the live stream. Alrighty, let's go. Right, so I've just left Broadbeach. The beach is just off to the right. Those who don't know the Gold Coast very well, heading south. Correction, got that wrong, didn't I? Heading north. Heading north towards Q1. Q1 is the building in the distance directly ahead. Uh, Lots of construction. Yeah, not so much roadworks, but there's a lot of construction being done, high-rise buildings. The Gold Coast is like the capital of high-rise buildings in Australia. It's kind of like Miami in Florida, a little bit. Oh, and there was some people just stepping out. The sun is right there, so I didn't see them. I'm going to do a U-turn here. This guy, because I should have turned. I had turned right there. I don't think my ambient mic is picking up the car noises. You can hear them. Oh, no entry. Oh, that's okay. This is an impromptu stream, so I didn't put out a upcoming event. So I'm talking to myself at the moment, and anybody that decides to watch this, not live, after the fact. There's nothing wrong. Most people are probably still at work, to be honest. Except for that other person who's watching it. Uh, Welcome to the Gold Coast. Unless, of course, you already live here. So, yep, lots of high rises, lots of traffic this time of the afternoon. Gets a bit, it's not too bad, just a little congested. But we'll find out what the racetrack looks like when it's not a racetrack, when it's just a normal road. I do a good job and there's not too many traffic lights involved with cruising around. Like trying to remember the lap times that the V8 supercars do it in. Sure, it's probably like a minute 40 or something like that. Sure, it'll take us like 5, 6, 7 minutes. Then I need to try and remember where the old IndyCar circuit, uh, because supercars have taken out a section of the track to make it a bit shorter. IndyCars obviously go a lot faster. Lap the circuit a lot quicker than the V8 supercars. So I don't think I'm around about that. Straight through there is the ocean. Beautiful Pacific. It's been a beautiful day here. Racetrack is prepared. It takes a few weeks. The Gold Coast sort of shut down a few streets, and I think the residents down here are used to that happening towards the end of every year in October. So construction, there's all these flagmen and women around. Another new building going up just to my right, next to North Cliffs Surf Club. There's one thing I don't like: speed bumps. Speed bumps are firstly incorrectly named. They should be anti-speed bumps. Secondly, they cause damage to nice cars, especially down the Gold Coast. Plenty of nice cars down this way. Feature. They were quite ready. There we go. Another high rise being built. Straight above me. Now we're coming into Surfers Paradise. Past Q1, we're heading towards Pepper's Soul Building. It's nice and slow through here, 30 k's an hour. So on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday nights, they have markets here, starting from here on the right along the waterfront. Pretty good. I try to get there whenever I'm down this way on any of those nights, especially on a Friday night. If I finish work a bit late down here, I don't want to spend time in traffic, which we might see on this journey, and especially Friday night, totally worse. So that being the case, I'll stay down here, go to the markets, and then drive back to Brisbane a bit later. And here we are, the famous Surfers Paradise. The just to the right there, the famous sign, infamous at Schoolies time. Schoolies, if you don't know what Schoolies is, it's when all the year 12, all the grade 12ers finish school, and then lots of them come down here and party on. Yes, cause havoc. And then you got the toolies that come down who aren't schoolies, but come down and run wild as well. So we're getting closer to the racetrack now. Like I said, the IndyCar track is slightly longer, and it started a little more to the south. Well, it didn't start. Start finish is on the other side, and I'll do a lap. I'll probably end up doing kind of like 2 laps to do it. So we're going to be starting on the beach straight, and then we will make our way where the chicane is. It's not there, but you can see where it goes. We will cut straight through it like some of the V8 supercars do. And then we'll take a left, a right, and then head out towards the main straight. Could be a bit congested there, being the Gold Coast Highway. Come back south, long past the start finish and the pits, which you should be able to see. This guy looks like he's across. And see if I can see where the old. I think here. Okay, so we're now on the old IndyCar. That corner just there, intersection. This is where the old IndyCar circuit comes down the back straight. These IndyCars back in the day, back in the 90s and early 2000s, I believe, used to fly down here, and then there's a left right, like a chicane, but it's actually a part of the road down here. So this is where the Indy cars used to turn onto. They used to turn left here and then right. Now this is where the V8 supercar track comes from. This is where this bus is coming from. And the trams that you can't see it, but just to the left, they hook around, and now we've joined up to where the V8 supercar track is, which is getting resurfaced. Look at that. Have a little bit of there we go. You're very welcome. Too cute. Very cute puppy. They were behind a parked car, so I couldn't see them straight away, but they are all safe. All right, so the V8 supercars come flying down here. They're probably doing like 150, 160, 170 at about here. Unfortunately, I'm not. So a little kink to the right. Chicane, or is it Corvette, comes this way. So C3, Stingray. Nice. And then here is where the first, you can see on the track, it'd be going here, here, obviously not in front of that, and then here, over to the right a lot more, and then back onto road. Accidents happen right here, coming through the chicane. Then they fire down here at like over 200 kilometers an hour, right kink. Be on the right hand side, and then they hit the brakes, and then they turn up this little short chute. Some more track. So it's roadworks happening here too. Normally there'd be a bridge going over the top of the track just here. Thank you, boys. And then we turn left here. And then a short little lap to this right hand. And when you're here, which I've been as a spectator, there's all concrete barricades all lined up to the on the left and the right here. And tall fences too. So, and then there's lots of people sitting up on the grassy hill to the left there. And you flick to the right, and you can see the ripple strip just here. The ripple strip, and then there's some bollards just to the left there, but and here we go. The front straight of the Gold Coast 400. So if you were to enter the pits, This is pit entrance just here. So you peel off, and as you can see, here's the grid here where all the cars start. 29, 27, 21, almost down. We're going to get to the start finish. There's all these pine trees, which are quite famous when you watch the race. See the pine trees. And it is the front straight, but it's not straight. And here, right here, is the start finish of the track. So it kinks around to the right. And then pit exits up here, and there's a chicane. They come out into the chicane. So it's just here. Well, it's not here at the moment. Here it is. Here's where the chicane goes. Through here. Through the left and right. We're turning here. And then back onto the track. And it runs right next to the tram lines. Obviously, they have barricades and a big fence and that up. And then we are turning left here to follow the track. I get too close to these ladies. And again, more ripper strip, and then boys are putting down more bitumen. So half the track's going to have new bitumen for this year by the looks. And then just to the right is where we turned into from before. So here we are. We've done one full circuit of the Gold Coast 400 circuit. And the Indy track from back in the day. Go along. We are going to continue past the corner and then turn onto the Gold Coast highway, and then they're going to go home that way. But we'll keep streaming all the way home. So many fit people out. So many. That's crazy. The Gold Coast is just fitness central. I don't know, a fitter place in Australia for a city or a town. It's crazy. Through the chicanes again. Let's go to right kink. And turning left there is the track. We're going to continue straight, and then police car. Toyota Camry cop car with all the LEDs on the front, so it's not like you can miss them. So if we continue along this road, and at the intersection up here, we just basically just keep going. You'll end up at SeaWorld. Not today. Not this. Coast Marathon uses these roads as well. Yeah, but done the Gold Coast Marathon twice. Yep. And the half. I don't remember. I think I've done the Sydney Marathon once, Gold Coast Marathon twice, and then the Melbourne Ironman, which involves a marathon once. I don't know how well the stream is going. Looks a bit glitchy right here for some reason. doesn't make sense. Experiencing interruptions. Isn't it? That's unfortunate. Why is that, Optus? Hopefully it come back. There we go. All right, we're back. Just a little bit. Starting a new channel, you find out all the bits and pieces that all the software and the hardware that doesn't work, and then if Telstra and Optus and Vodafone don't want to play, I don't get it. So let's head back to Brisbane. Which way is it going to tell us to go? Gold Coast Highway. It's telling us to go on Smith Street. So we'll do the Smith Street motorway, even though it's a bit red. It's a bit stop-start. We could go the Gold Coast Highway. Can't see any stop-start along there. But Waze is supposed to, you know, tell us where to go. All right. So, what we talk about today? Well, I mean, it's a gorgeous day. Fine. Like, again, like we've had a lot of rain in South Queensland. It seems to be, especially weather. It's 5 days. Check on the road there. Let's let other Wazes. So we'll stop at lights here and we'll potentially look at other routes as well. Everything's saying, wow. So it's about an hour 40, hour 50 to up to 2 hours to get home today, which is crazy. When it's not peak hour, so hour 40 to go home via Smith Street. When it is not peak hour, it's an hour. It's less than an hour 10. So it's an extra half an hour because of, well, I did a short earlier today that most people on the road are under average, which you might not think makes sense if you know math. Obviously, the way that averages work, you'd say that only half the people could be under average because the other half would be over average. But unfortunately, that's not what I mean. What I mean is most people just do the bare minimum to get their license. And then once they've got their license, they don't do any further educating. They don't. All they do is drive, and they don't necessarily learn how to be better drivers. There's not a lot of people doing advanced driver training. There's not a lot of people doing club level race car driving, which definitely hones your skills on the racetrack. Definitely has made me a better car driver. Keeps me a lot more alert. Keeps me focused on what I'm doing on the road rather than, uh, you know, all these other things that people get distracted doing, like phone calls, podcasts, and all this sort of stuff. And don't get me wrong, it's not like I don't listen to music or podcasts or stuff like that, but But at least I think the better driver you are, the more that you can start to multitask, like look down at the stereo to change what radio station or what tune you're playing or whatever it is, taking a phone call, all that sort of stuff. I just there's just too many accidents that happen because too many people are multitasking where their primary job now, I think it's coming from the now you might not hear that, but the Suzuki Swift next to me has got a slipping fan belt. Probably I don't know why we call them fan belts anymore. Ancillary belt. Almost all cars have newer cars have electric fans these days, so there's no fan belts anymore. Accessories belt. Let's call it an accessories belt. Engine belt. It's not a timing belt that way. Road, the Smith Street. So basically, Smith Street all the way through to the M1, turn right, go north, head to Brisbane, and we'll just deal with traffic. This will get us about a 2 hour show this afternoon. Now, cranes, these mobile cranes. Look how massive they are. They are massive, and they always seem to be moving from wherever they're based to the job site during peak hour. They can only do about 80 kilometres an hour on the highway. Personally, with the amount of congestion that happens these days, I think cranes need to be moved to and from the job site between the hours of 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. in the morning. Now, that might seem ludicrous, especially the crane operators and the people owners. Now they're going to have to pay their these operators to drive them, after hours. But the thing is, our roads are so congested these days, we need to start making some considerations like that, especially when they drive ridiculously slow on the motorway and they take up way too much space and it intimidates a lot of people because they're so massive. People don't want to drive past them like I just did because they get scared that they might get hit by something so big. Got there. Is that an F6? I mean, gonna hit the brakes. Could be. Could be an F6. Could just be an XR6. Don't know if F6 exists. I think that color is like toxic green or citric green. I can't remember. But I'm not sure if a F6 ever come out. This car's been debadged. I'd say it's probably still the turbo. Nearly hit it because he wasn't concentrating. He got beat by a mobile crane across the intersection. But that's okay. It's got the wing on the back. It looks cool. It's actually a nice looking car. Here we are. The congestion along the Smith Street motorway. Did see it on Waze, but this is a part of driving at peak hour, which I don't particularly like doing. I have a shirt that says, "Love driving, hate traffic." This is why. Let us have a quick look at Waze and see. So it might only take a few minutes to get through. And have to pass that mobile crane again as he got up front. Assuming there might be some roadworks, left lane might. The left lane turns off to the left. So the middle lane and the right lane go straight to the M1. Left lane turns, so there'll be some sneaky people trying to get up the left lane and miss a few, and then try and squeeze across. Pick your battles, pick your gaps, pick your battles. And look at almost. I think Bond University is that off to my right. There's something out there. Oh, Griffith University. That's it. Griffith University. Here comes a motorcyclist that is lane filtering correctly, doing no more than 30 kilometres an hour. Finally, we see a motorcyclist lane filtering correctly. Most motorcyclists will be blasting up in between the cars doing 50, 60, 70 k's an hour. Finally, a motorcyclist doing it right. Well done to you, buddy. Well done to you. And why do we even go? Just again, I mentioned people sneaking up the left-hand lane and then trying to sneak across into some gaps, which just slows everyone down even more. It's a part of the congestion when people think they're clever, they're just being selfish. That's all that is. Selfish behaviour. You got to remember, if 10% of the population are narcissists, then 10% of the people driving are going to be narcissists. They don't care about anybody else other than themselves. So 1 in 10 cars out there definitely not going to be giving a crap about what you want, where you want to go, what you want to do. And what else can we talk about today? I added to a couple of my workmates today. What did they want to talk about? They brought up a couple of things. So driving too slow. I'll probably bring this up on the next. Because this is a bit impromptu stream, so probably talk about that this weekend. But people driving too slow. Can you get fined for driving too slow? Yes, in every single state and territory in Australia, you can get fined for driving too slow. But what is too slow? And like, what is it? Is it a percentage? Is it an actual speed? Like if it's a 60 zone and you're doing less than 40, is that driving too slow? Depends on the conditions. LA, brother? Yeah, dude. Oh, I'm live streaming. Yeah. If you want to see yourself, it's called Driving Live Australia. I've only just started, but check it out, brother. What's your name? Blake. What's that color? Is it citric or toxic? Citric. I wasn't sure if it was an F6 or an XR. I got a BF Super Pursuit, so just think driving live Australia, like dash cams Australia. Done. All right, brother. Hey, look after it. It's nice. Just made a new friend. I think his name was Blake. Blake, if I got your name right, nice to meet you, brother. Nice XR6. So I gotta ask. Turbo? Ah, it's all good though. It's pretty clean. Are you a mechanic? Can't tell. All right, was it Blake? I can't. Oh shit, no, bro. No one lives in an ISF. Sure. Anyway, take care. I'll see you around. Thanks, Blake. Good on you, Blake. Nice to meet people in traffic. Car enthusiasts. Yeah, nice Falcon, mate. Just the NA, not a turbo, but Not bad. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good with that wing on it. So, can you get fined for driving too slow? Not at the moment because the conditions are that we're in peak hour traffic. So driving, doing 5 kilometers an hour in a 70 zone, 80 zone is in peak hour traffic when it's congested, you're not going to get done. But if there was absolutely no reason, if traffic was traveling at the posted speed and you and someone is driving, so the terminology is driving slow enough to cause, basically be driving like a um, mobile roadblock, basically. So whereas you're being inconsiderate to other people, you're so slow that it's dangerous. It's slowing traffic down. That is when you could get fined for driving too slow. So depending upon the conditions, obviously, if it's wet weather, rain, if it's foggy and you can't see, obviously people will slow down because you shouldn't be driving faster than what you can see for your braking distance, for instance. So if you can't see as far as what your braking distance is for the speed you're doing in the car that you're in, then you obviously need to slow down. Otherwise, potential crash right there. So speaking of crashes, I wonder why we are taking forever to get along the Smith Street motorway. Uh, Personally, I reckon it's because people can't merge onto the motorway. People struggle to merge. I don't know what it is. Just get up to the speed that the traffic is moving on the motorway, and slot in. Mind you, there's other causes at play. I get it. So, for instance, if you've got a lot of vehicles in the left-hand lane and there's not a lot of gaps between them, then it's going to be hard to merge. Or the big thing, what I saw this morning, is you get a whole bunch of cars. Maybe they've all got a green light. They've all sped up and got up onto the motorway, but they're seriously bumper to bumper. There is no gaps. I don't know how these people expect to merge into highway traffic if they've got no gaps between them. It's supposed to be meshing like teeth in a cog, like two cogs, or like zipper, mesh like a zip. But when you've got no gaps in between cars coming onto an on-ramp, what happens is you don't get the space to slow down. People on the motorway have to slow down and let you in. You have to make some gaps, and then all of a sudden, another phantom traffic jam because people are being morons. Excuse my coughing throat. And again, we've got 3 lanes here. We've got a merge lane on our left. We'll have a merge point up further. There's another lane down to the left as well. So basically, we've got 4 lanes merging into 2. So that's definitely not going to help for congestion. I'm keeping my eyes peeled for any motorcyclists that are lane filtering, and I'm pretty much staying in the middle of my lane, being in the middle lane as a motorcyclist shoulders, which are not allowed to do there. Motorcyclists, if you don't know, shouldering is only permitted on roads that are at 90 or higher. This is not a 90 zone. Oh, so not because it's not a 90 zone, you're not permitted to shoulder here. I bet you most motorcyclists don't even know that. And I bet you there's a big portion of motorcyclists out there that don't care. And if you're one of them, you can be that way. You can be that way. See that traffic's been held up behind. I'm going to let this car in. Yep, there you go. And again, another scooter, lane filtering where you're not supposed to be. Just ignorance people. Where that person has no idea that they're not permitted to lane filter. They were probably just in that lane. Let's be honest. Now they're not permitted to lane filter, and that's exactly shoulder. And they're shouldering. You can lane filter here, absolutely. Traffic's going way less than 30 k's an hour. You can lane filter 30 k's an hour, no worries. But you can't shoulder here. So I don't know why people do that. You can literally legally lane filter, but not shoulder. Let's see where our zipper works. I reckon the 86 might end up being a car that slots in front of me. Maybe. See. Obviously, as you can see, this is what I do every time. I'm not doing this just because I got a camera going. This is what I do every time. End of the unbroken line there. And as soon as the 86 puts their indicator on to come across, and then the car that's just come up next to me, they better want to get in behind me because I'm not going to let them in. I'm only need to let one car in at a time. So I'll let her in because I like the fat wheels on her 86. That's nice. So there we go. We merge like a zip. I like it when it all works well. Nobody's getting angry or upset other than the fact that we're all stuck in peak hour traffic, but no one's getting upset with each other. That's a good thing. No one's trying to be a piece of crap. Not around here at the moment. Maybe they know they're live. Maybe they know they're live. So let's get back to, can you get fined for driving too slow? Yes, all states and territories in Australia, you can get fined for driving too slow. But it's up to the police officer or whoever pulls you over. Or maybe if someone sends dash cam footage in, then it's, again, up to the authorities to deem whether that person who was being filmed was driving too slow. It was causing issues. There's wording on it. I looked it up quickly last night. I probably fell asleep reading it, to be honest. So, but the writing on it basically says that there's no speed that is too slow. Like, is it 20 k's an hour under or is it 20% under? There's nowhere it says that. All it says is if you are driving unreasonably slow and causing congestion, like your actions are causing congestion on the road, causing traffic to block up and everything. If that's the case, then that's a lot of cars a lot of the time. People sitting in the middle lane, cars sitting in the middle lane doing 100 in 110 zone, for instance, right there and then that's causing unreasonable, like people behind them, unreasonable to slow down. Like it's crap. Anyway, I honestly believe the whole reason we have bumper to bumper for a couple of kilometres along the Smith Street motorway is because most people do not have the capability, the knowledge, the skills, the know-how to merge onto the highway. So the highway's going to be doing crazy slow speeds at the moment as well because of people not knowing how to merge. So here's my thing. If everyone was a V8 supercar driver, or at least up to that skill level, I don't think we'd ever have congestion. As long as everyone's driving skillfully and not trying to actually win, if everyone had the same skills as a V8 supercar driver and everyone was told just drive to the posted speed, get to where you want to go, be safe, be efficient, be respectful, I don't think we'd ever have traffic jams, even with the amount of vehicles and people on the road right now. It's just like we call it human nature, like human error is the reason why. I'm going to make a lane change because I've got a big enough gap too. We call it human nature that reason why we get into these situations is because it's just human error, human nature. But I think it's not. I think it's stupid error. I think it's stupid people, morons, ignorant people, people who don't care. Like, take one of my ex girlfriends. I shall not name her. She hates driving. She hates driving. If you hate driving, use public transport. Don't be a driver. Hand your license in. Sell your car. Because when you hate doing something, you don't necessarily want to be good at it. So, hand your license in. It's just going to keep causing havoc on the roads. If people who hate driving keep driving, as we finally speed up and I get in front of the mobile crane, happy with that. Hopefully the sun won't be in the windscreen too much as we turn north. The sun will be sort of northwest, being 4:30 in the afternoon. Jesus, it's taken me 45 minutes to get from the Gold Coast, from Broadbeach to the highway. People need to sort out their, that's all. Sun's right there. Oh, well, Blake, if you watch this back, mate, hopefully I'll catch up with you another time, mate. If you're going to, you look like the kind of guy that'll go to a car needle too, so definitely look forward to streaming live. Going to car meets, great place to meet people, like-minded people, absolutely. For me, great place to ask people road rule questions, and I've done it before. It's so much fun. People like it. People like doing it. People might not like being filmed doing it because what I've found is that 80% of people that I ask don't know 80% of the road rules. So it can be a little confronting, but we have a lot of fun doing it. And for me, I just think it proves when road rules change, there's either people who are ignorant and don't care, or that TMR just doesn't get road rules out there, especially when road rules change. I've said this before. I'm a motorcyclist. I didn't have a bike at the time, but about 10 years ago, when motorcycle lane filtering actually become legal, then for months I didn't know. For months and months, I kept thinking, "Wow, there's a lot of motorcyclists lane splitting," and what I didn't realize, it had become legal. Crane get in front of me again. Look at, I'm looking down onto over the, oh my God, the highway is just jam packed. Going north, going south. Is that an LS? There you go. LS in the Utski to our left with a big cam, and I don't know what's going on with the exhaust system. Only got half an exhaust system. I'd say it's single. Can't tell if it's a lumpy 6 or a lumpy 8. Yes. Seriously, I do not sit in traffic like this very often, so I don't mind doing it today because I'm doing it for the with the. If I was sitting in this and I wasn't live streaming, I'd be I'd be so pissed. If I was just on my way home and just trying to get home, and I'm still, I'm due to get home in Brisbane at like 10 to 6, and it's yeah, still got another. I've been on the road for 45 minutes already, 50 minutes even, and I got another hour. It's going to take 2 hours to get home today. But like I said, I'm live streaming, so I don't mind. I get to chat. I get to read. I can read anybody's live stream chats. I'm again get to test what the Optus network's like. between the Gold Coast and Brisbane. I did drive to Byron Bay on the weekend. It glitched a couple of times, to be honest. Lost lost connection a couple of times, but never actually shut down, which it has in the past. The stream's just lost all connectivity and just shut down. Whereas sort of just lost connectivity for a little bit, and then it regained it before it just totally shut down. So, hey Maxie, how are you, brother? Yes, driving, mate. I tell you, if you're going to hang out with me for a little while, that'd be cool. At least I get to chat with you. So, I will say though, the drive to the Gold Coast in the morning isn't too bad. It takes about an hour 10, an hour 10, and it's like everybody in the morning, because it seems like everybody starts work at different times, but everyone ends work at the same time, like now. So, um, it would drive you nuts, bro. Look, like I said, if I was just driving, I'd put on a podcast or listen to some music, sure, but I like to drive efficiently, which is driving to the posted speed, um, and hardly touching my brakes, and and just being as efficient as possible. I like being efficient. Now, is it wet? Are you saying it's wet where you are, Max, or wet here? It is beautiful up here at the moment. Definitely not wet. Just crap, crap drivers, mate. Just, you know what? It doesn't take a lot of crap drivers to slow everybody down. It doesn't matter. You could be a V8 supercar or a Formula One driver right now in traffic with me right here. Oh, look at old mate just crosses the. So we're live. What's his number plate? Maybe he needs a fine. 197 MCL. 197 MCL. Maybe Mr. Hilux there, who's trying all he can do to cut people off and get over to the right lane and then tailgate. Maybe he needs a fine for crossing lines. There's people that do this all the time. It actually slows traffic down when people can't merge correctly, like where the lines finish. They go from unbroken lines to broken lines. It actually slows everyone down. 25 years ago, Max. 25 years ago was the last time you were here. Well, it's definitely not better. It's probably extra lanes. 25 years ago, it's probably 2 lanes. Double lane. All right, I think this is the lane I'm going to sit in. Don't need to be in the overtaken lane anytime at the moment. I don't necessarily think it's going to go faster. One thing I've noticed in peak hour traffic, when traffic is congested, that you're not doing the posted speed, that everyone seems to want to get over into the right-hand lane, and then what happens is that causes the right-hand lane to slow down. So I can't tell you how many times I've been in the right-hand lane, the overtaking lane, when it's congested, and people in the second to right lane are just blowing past. So no, it hasn't changed a bit, Max, except it's wider, obviously. The road is wider with more lanes, but it's like you add more lanes, it doesn't make it better. It doesn't make it better. I think if you different road in, so I know down in Sydney, there's a lot of tunnels down there. We've got a few up here, but you guys have got heap of tunnels and long ones. That it does actually help relieve a little bit of congestion around. But I've got to think about tolls. The thing about tolls is toll road is there so you can avoid the congestion when you're not using the toll roads. So you pay money to avoid congestion. So if the toll roads get congested, then if you're not travelling at least over 80% of the average speed that you need to, then the toll road should be free. Toll road should be free if you are not travelling at the average speed that you should be through a toll road. So toll road is there so that you can avoid congestion. And if it's congested for whatever reason, might be an accident this day, whatever. But if you're not avoiding congestion by taking the toll road, then the toll road should be free for that period of time until traffic eases and gets back up to the average. You want to be driving the Sydney today, mate? It's hammering down. Flash flood, election, what you got to do, flash flood, everybody. Let's see how much rain. I did think that we're going to get rain over in the next couple of days. It's coming up from the south. Usually, slow down. As movie world on the Gold Coast is dead ahead. Specifically straight. I know Tez has probably asked you, but you're going to be moderator, buddy. I need a Sydney moderator, and if it's not you, it's going to be somebody else in Sydney. So, whilst there's not that many people watching, yeah, $40, right, from the airport to your place, the Para. And it's not going to be any cheaper for the other airport when it opens. It's out. It's awesome. Oh yeah. I mean, you don't have to take tolls, Max. Some great roads. Orange Fruit Road. What's the one that? Oh, yeah. What's only one? You can avoid tolls. Obviously, it takes longer to get the end. You might actually reduce. Now, depending on what you drive, how you drive, you might end up using the amount of money in fuel that you're saving by not using the toll. I can already buddy. Oh, well, I did want to ask you, I know face to face and everything like that. I'm pretty keen, especially get all that audio visual is sorted. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm assuming you can hear me okay. So responding. I just think, yeah. An hour each way, I get you. No, that's cool, mate. I'd be more than happy to be on it. I'd be honoured if you'd be my Sydney moderator, mate. And I know you and Terry work well together, so that'd be awesome. I was trying to self-moderate. Well, I wasn't self-moderating. I was, a few weekends ago, I had Nina driving. We're in the little red Volkswagen. Nina was driving. She did an amazing job that day. And we had some guy, from Birmingham or Manchester or somewhere over in England. It must have been like midnight. I don't know if they were drunk. He ended up saying some stuff that I didn't particularly like, and I didn't have a moderator at the time. So I was moderating because I was driving the laptop. And then I was like, oh my God, how do I delete comments? Obviously, I checked it out. So I've seen what a great job the moderators do. It'd be my honor to give to a spanner. So I can make that happen. I'm not driving. So thank you. Appreciate it. Spoken to Terry for a few days. He worked over the weekends. No, 100%. I can't drive, moderate, chat, or I can drive and chat. I can do that. And I can just sort of quickly just look over at the phone sitting in my quad lock cradle and see some remarks. Whilst the channel's still young and there's not a lot of people watching, and obviously, like you're the only person who's watching in the chat. But speaking with James, obviously Jimmy, and where he was 2 years ago, he said same boat, same place. So definitely look forward to growing this channel over the next 2 years, and we're going to be doing some different stuff. Like I appreciate what the boys have done to help me just understand how to do it. But we're going to go in a slightly different direction. Live stream, obviously, but and something similar like when they go to a different airport and stuff like that. I don't even have to ask permission from other driving live streamers at the moment because there isn't any, mate. There's nothing. So I'm assuming there'll be some copycat live streamers will see this and think they can do a better job and they'll get up and running. And I don't mind that at all. Might learn something from them too. Now you're talking some high tech lingo now. CVTT, voice to text. Ah, gotcha. See, as I go past the speed camera, doing 30 kilometers, 20 kilometers now, less than the posted speed, so I think I'm safe. Unless, of course, I can hook my voice to the chat, the voice to text system. Hey, brother, if anyone can help me work that out, maybe it's nice. Is this the same? Seriously, this mobile crane just up ahead is the one. I've passed this thing 3 or 4 times already. It keeps getting ahead of me. But now that we are doing almost motorway speeds, buddy, it's overtaking. We're still in the Gold Coast, though. They've been on the road for an hour. Just over an hour. Something like that. And my laptop over there is telling me how long I've been streaming for. Somewhere over there. Maxie, I'm definitely going to be heading down to Sydney. We'll probably do a couple of longer trips up around Southeast Queensland. The same distance going north from Brisbane. So we just did Brisbane to Byron Bay. About the same distance going north would get us to about Harvey Bay. I might have mentioned this to Nina the other day. She might be keen. So if she's keen to do a drive up to Harvey Bay, your question is more like how long will it take before we hit congestion again that slows us down from the posted speed down. I reckon it'll be back to bumper. Maybe Springwood. So in the Logan area, I'm looking forward. It's on Bays at the moment, and it's getting congested around the Springwood area. Actually, before then, at Yatla, traffic trying to merge on. So, see. So maybe between 5 and 10, maybe. Well, I reckon we're slowing down now, back down to 80 and 110 zone. The sun, that's actually really nice. So the sun's just dipped over the horizon there, and that looks good. All right, so I've got a big gap. So there's an on-ramp here, but everyone seems to be able to get on, and there's a massive gap. So I'm assuming at the top of the on-ramp, there's a set of lights up there. So you always get these bunches of cars. You get a big bunch of cars, and then nothing, a big bunch, and then nothing. So they've all merged on without them. Time to get the fullest. it's a freaking, it's an I-40, isn't it? It's a Hyundai I-40, and it's not even black, but it is an N. And sedan. Poop looking. His wing. I got wing envy right now. I don't have wing at the moment. As you can see out the back of the camera. Slash camera. Yeah, look, it's heavy, but we're sitting on 110 again. Okay, so happy to be on 110. Traffic should actually get a little bit lighter, getting towards. It'll get heavy in Springwood around the. There's a bit of roadworks there. It goes down to 80, but the road's really nice now. They've really fixed it up and they've chucked an extra lane on there. And then just past that, we have to turn off for the Gateway Arterial, which I'll be taking. And then it gets a bit clunky around there because it gets down to 80 k's an hour. And then as you get back up along the Gateway, it's not too bad until you get over the Gateway, and then you've kind of got the traffic coming out of the city heading north. I kind of need it for a little bit before I turn off. So we'll see which way Waze tells us to go. So coming up towards the upper now, see what it's like. And you know where the changeover between the Gold Coast and Logan cities boundary, there's they've got this it's like an art installation with a whole bunch of whacked a whole bunch of street lighting all jammed together in the middle of in between the northbound and southbound. And it's, if you're off to the east side looking back at it, like perpendicular from the highway, it actually spells out Gold Coast. But when you're on the highway, you can't tell what it says. You have to look at photos online or whatever. But yeah, it's the Gold Coast street sign installation, art installation that says Gold Coast. It's kind of cool, but the only way you can see it is to not be on the highway. Yeah, I have that pie shop. Yes, it does. I'm pulling it out. Oh, yeah. Definitely have stuff there for times. It's not far from there now. Traffic's good. Everyone's behaving themselves right now. I'm still convinced that this is. I'm in this. The left-hand lane slow because you've got people exiting. And then every now and then you'll have a slow vehicle like that van up there, and then there's a truck with a broken down Ford Ranger on it. Assuming it's broken down. And so you got some cars, you got some vehicles in the left lane actually going. Oh, here we go. We are slowing down now. So as we're coming into Yatma, I did put the ambient light. Something. Yes, it's still there. Someone's pleasure. We're slowing down, but we're not stop start yet. Ambient light in through to the boot to try and hopefully pick up the exhaust on the Lexus bar. See it being heard on OBS. So still need to muck around with some settings. But now that I've found the hidey hole, my microphone through where the back seat should be. Yes. This car doesn't have a back seat. Took it out. terrible, like needs replacing. So apparently, so what am I doing? Doing over 40 k's an hour, and there's a motorcyclist 894 OP. Motorcyclist lane filtering. I'm doing 45 kilometers an hour. Motorcycles shouldn't be lane filtering any higher than 30, and he's still going. He's probably still going, and we're doing 70 now. So this is all sort of Yatlas. So just back there, it used to be like Powers Brewing, and it was Carlton United for a while. So there's a brewery up on the left. I know that Techno Autosport used to be up there because when I was personal trainer for Red Bull Racing, Triple Eight, they had an affiliation with Techno. They would supply them back in 2018. Lounsey and Jack Brock were teammates, but they were using the same pit boom when they were doing their pit stops. So, and if you were going to get a Yatla pie, you'd take the exit just here, go down, and Yatla pie shop is just off to the left. I think there's actually a pie on a pole. There it is. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a pie on a pole off to the left. It's getting a bit dark to see now, but it's making me hungry, Maxie. Looking out at that pie, thinking that's a big pie. And here's the art installation, right? So, Max, if you look in the middle of the road between the north and southbound lanes, you'll see all these street lights, all bunched up together, all the different heights. With yellow, well, it's dull yellow now, but it used to be bright yellow paint on the bottoms. So this, if you're off to the east, off to the right, down like on the service road and look back at that, the height of the lights actually spells out Gold Coast. So I'm not sure if you've ever seen that. It definitely wasn't there 25 years ago. So pretty much leaving the Gold Coast now and entering Logan. The Logan motorway will be an off ramp to the left. So there's plenty of cars that will be using the so they'll all start to jostle for position and get over to the left-hand lanes to do that. Around here, I believe, is the Beanley Rum Distillery as we come into the south end of Beanley. There's an artisan distillery here, so yeah, they make a bit of rum around here. We're still in a 110 zone. Very shortly, we'll go back to 100. And at the same time, it goes back to 100. There's also a set of speed cameras hanging off the bridge. And it looks like most people, and see, look, there's the Hyundai i40N. So I swear that the second to right lane moves quicker when speed is lower than the posted speed. It's something I've picked up. But Maxie, I can't wait. We're probably going to do a trip up to Harvey Bay first, and then get a few more, maybe some car meets. So Friday, Saturday night car meets where we park the car. I'm actually trying to hook up a mobile camera so we can live stream to a car meet, park the car, switch across to the mobile camera. I've got a GoPro, so I'm hoping I can hook that up and actually go around and ask people some questions live at the car meet and stuff like that, which I think would be pretty cool. A really good way to get people to know that the channel exists as well. So, and because I'm about to hit 700 subscribers, only 4 away. So keen to keen to get some hours up, keen to get some lots of views up. So the channel's got over 42,000 views now and climbing up towards 250 watched hours. But I need that 3,000 watched hours, and I don't think I'm going to get 3 million views of the channel in the next 90 days, but I reckon over the next year we can get 3,000 watched hours through the long form streaming. So still sitting on about 70 kilometers an hour here, so not too bad. But yeah, the Yatla area coming up towards the Logan motorway turn off, and then into the sort of the South Brisbane section. Says HSV broken down on the painted traffic file in the back. It's there. Didn't look like it was in very good condition, to be honest. We turn the lights on. So that's a good rule. When do you turn your lights on? Well, if you've got them on auto, they should turn themselves on. But if you need to turn your lights on, it's when the system of street lighting turns on, which it's not on here yet, but the sun is gone down. It is past sunset, so most cars do have their lights on. I knew I didn't have light. I turned off earlier. Just playing around with turn the lights on and the idle goes up, and then turn them off and the idle was going down. It's just playing around with that. Okay. Drive to work after sunrise. Slow down about 30. As yeah, cars are going left and right. Like you can assume that pretty much all the cars in the two right lanes are going to Brisbane towards Brisbane, and all the cars over in the lanes of the truck, for instance, are taking the Logan motorway. Then you got two lanes in the middle, 5 lanes. So you got 2 lanes going left. You got 2 lanes over here. You got 3 lanes going straight. The left-hand lane, so currently the middle lane, will turn into the left-hand lane, and then that will then merge and get 2 lanes. Oh no, you've got 6 lanes. So there's like, yeah, now we've got 6 lanes. So you still got the occasional cars changing their minds, whether they want to go Logan motorway or not. To be honest, the Waze is telling me I should take the Logan motorway. So I'll have a look because I'm not going to take it. I've done this before where it says take the Logan motorway and then end up going down the Logan motorway, paying the toll, and then coming back along the arterial road and then just catching up with cars that I was in traffic with anyway. So I had to pay a toll, but for no reason, because even though I was going faster, I ended up going longer, and then I ended up passing cars or back in traffic with cars that just kept going straight. So we're going to go straight today. So don't need sun visor anymore. But you're saying the Pacific Highway is pretty crazy, rain and flooding and stuff. Top cog. Yeah. What's a tox cog? I was like, oh, is that a new thing? Oh, Lido. Lido, how are you, buddy? Long time no see. Don't tell me you know Max. Imagine that. Actually, do you guys know each other? Are you serious? Please tell me you know each other. That'd be sick. Mido, how you been, mate? It's been a little while. Where's your next park run? Oh, wow. Really? That bad? The Pacific Highway out of action? Crazy. I'm going to make a lane change, come across him behind the A5. The Mazda behind me. Nice. Give him a wave. because that's what we do in Australia. Because that's Australian driving culture. Someone lets you in, or make sure you've got space. Give them a wave. We'll talk about Australian driving culture and when you go to a different country, how you should drive. You know, I did not know you were a plane spotter. Seriously, that's crazy. Are you a massive Kurt fan, Mido? I hopefully, fingers crossed, with the magic of Tezza, hopefully, I would like when we come to Sydney would be to have Kurt come along for a drive with us. I think that would be a riot. I think that would be sick. Have Kurt doing the ride along seat in the Driving Live Australia. I think it'd be super cool. Beresfield. So that's the Newcastle. Yeah, sounds like you guys are absolutely copying it. Monthly challenge done. Hey Mido, you've got the 5K app going, yeah? 5K app is awesome. Somebody showed me a different app too the other day. I've been doing my goal, Mido, my parkrun goal for this year. So last year, my parkrun goal was 50 parkruns in the year. So I did 51 last year. I was very, very happy with that. This year, I need to get up my 50 volunteers. So I've got 7 to go to get my 50 volunteer, and I'll be volunteering this Saturday as barcode scanner. Can you believe I've been doing? I can't remember how long I've been doing parkrun for, but I'm like up around the 270 mark or whatever. And I've never done barcode scanner. I've only got 7 to go, and then that'll be my 50 volunteers. That's my goal this year, 50 volunteers. We need to catch up again soon. Mate, that you can let me know soon where you'll be for parkrun and come to a parkrun with you. I'm volunteering at Kedron this weekend. Keen to do another parkrun with you, mate. And I'll walk too. I don't need to break land speed every 6 days. And again, slowing down for Springwood traffic. There's 5. I can't even read that. Look like SCO 55. SCO 55, mate. That motorcyclist. We're doing over 30. We're doing 30, and he just blasted through. That's what I'm saying. Like if a car doesn't look in their mirror, and they go to do a lane change, that guy is dead. Well, at least hurt. His bike will be dead. Let's see if the car behind me turns their lights on anytime soon now. Street lighting is coming on. You want to come to Kedron, mate? I'll be barcode scanner. Come and do it. And I got my friend Sarah. She's coming. Ooh, VH. Can't tell. What kind of Commodore was that? Is that VH? No, VC Commodore. Well, VH Commodore. It is a VH Commodore. Didn't have a grill. I was lost because it didn't have the grill. VH Commodore in the left-hand lane. You don't see them often these days. Yeah, if you want to come to Kedron, I will be there volunteering. So it's not like I'm going to pike it. And unless it rains out, I'll be there, buddy. So if you want to come to Kedron, be my guest. I'll definitely be doing park runs around Sydney when we shoot down to do a live stream down that way, Maxi. Did Max do park runs? There's a question we haven't asked yet. My mic's very soft. Maybe I just need to speak into it better. Like if I put it right next to my lips right there. Max hasn't said anything about my mic being too soft, so maybe your speakers are just down low. Just kidding, mate. We've had all sorts of teething issues with trying to get the volume working uh, on the through the soundboard, on the OBS, through the YouTube. I've got a ambient mic set up in the back so you can hear the car, but it's not working. I mean, the mic's working, it's just not picking up the sound. So I don't know if OBS has like a sound restriction thing happening. I need to as my camera. Let's see if I can zoom. Camera looked a little bit out of focus for a second, but hopefully I'll fix that up. Do they need another barcode scanner? Well, funnily enough, Michael's daughter's also barcode scanning with me as well. So I don't think so. Don't think so. But I can check with Michael, obviously, when I'm not driving. I can see what's going on. Oh, check out the Mustang, who is literally on the shoulder. He's just blasting past everyone on the shoulder. Let's get his rego, because that was a dick move. I think it was a red Mustang. That's what color it is. But there's a good chance we'll get up next to him soon, just the way the traffic's going. But that was an absolute dick move. Like, went past the merge point, blew past a few more cars like this Kona, and then squeezed in. So, was it 765 ZQZ? 765 ZQZ. I can check up that later on the rego check and see what it is. But yeah, that was a dick move. You should be ashamed of yourself. Oh, Mrs. Minnow, good stuff. I get to see us both again. It's been too long, mate. It's been too long, and I know your interest in driving and making, and especially caravanning. I know you're keen caravanning. Remember, what was it you were telling me about certain load restrictions, or you can only go certain speeds or something like that with the caravans? I remember that. That's probably a year or so, maybe even more. Motorcyclists can shoulder here. They got a couple of bikes on the right there. As long as it's safe to do so, the speed here being 100 kilometers an hour means that they can shoulder here. So no problem with that. I mean, they're probably going. I'm doing 30, and they're overtaking me, so they are going a bit fast. But yeah, you can walk. You can walk park run, mate. That means maybe. Oh, and I know that we're going to a place for breakfast after. Remember the place? I'll text it to you later, unless I can remember it. If you're keen to come for brekkie afterwards, I know we've booked a table at a place. So, oh, it's Michael's wife, Kylie. It's her 100th park run. There you go. So, one of his daughters will be barcode scanning with me. Yeah, you can just walk. We'll be there at the end, obviously. I have to be there until the last, till the tail walker comes across the line. You're a funny man, funny man with your soft jokes. Uh, yeah, so over 4.5 ton, you can only travel up to 100 k's an hour. That's right. I remember that conversation, mate. And now I'm finally there. I know that I probably was telling you that, well, doing the podcast, this, that, whatever, but this is what it needed to be, mobile. So that we can literally watch people doing stupid stuff on the road, get it on film, and talk about it as it happens. It just wasn't working in the podcast studio. I did a few. I think I only edited and published a couple. It just wasn't. It just didn't feel right. But this feels right. We just need to get all the hardware sorted. I think my router's letting me down. It's a twin SIM route. It's supposed to beam out on both Optus and Telstra, but it doesn't seem to be doing that. Then if it doesn't do that, it should at least flick from one to the other. When the main one struggles, it should flick across the other one, but it doesn't do that either. So shall be going back to the place of order and seeing what else we can do. maybe I'll talk to Jimmy from Only Planes and see if he's got any. Well, he could be listening. He could be lurking in the background. See if you got any spare gear that you're not using anymore, because I noticed you've upgraded your router recently, Jimmy. Yes, always keep a good breakfast. I will remember the name of the cafe we're going to, because it's actually where Michael's daughters work. At least two of them work there still currently, I think. So, um, Husk Cafe in. Let me have a think. As I can hear things in my car vibrating because I've got that ambient speaker microphone in the back, so I can hear stuff through the soundboard. But there's a process happening where it's not coming through. I will definitely need to fix that up soon. Husk Cafe, yeah. Just trying to remember what suburb it's in. Days Road, the Grange, or is it just Grange? Husk with two K's. HSKK. Husk Cafe. I like to call it the Grange. I think it's just Grange. Yeah, so that's what we have breakfast, So keen to come along. I'm sure Michael likes to say good day to you again as well. I don't know. Last time you saw him was like me last year, maybe. Oh, I mean, it's a nice sunset. I mean, if you're going to get stuck in peak hour traffic, you might as well do it with a beautiful sunset, doing a live stream where I can talk to some of my mates, and then find out you two know each other. That's great. I think endorsements for towing caravans. So yeah, there's no endorsement on your license for towing like bigger things like big boats or caravans. I agree. I agree. Well, to be your parents. Apparently, Nina was chatting on Sunday. We were doing some road news. Apparently, an 80-year-old bloke passed away up north, Burnett Highway, I think it was, as I get smothered in diesel soot from this four drive in front of me. And what was it? An 80-year-old guy died, and his 66-year-old wife was seriously injured. I think he crashed his caravan, like crashed the car and caravan. Uh, yeah. So what you're saying, Mido, maybe like who knows what happened? Like he might have had a heart attack or something like that. Who knows? 80's definitely. Um, I mean, I know a few people that are 80 that are very very fit. They had their driving cars too, but the doctor would say that yeah, keep driving, you're good. That's probably not all 80-year-olds, that's for sure. Shit, sorry. I did not see that car. There we go. I was just in my blind spot everywhere. In my blind spot, I did a head check. It was right behind my B pillar, and but did see it at the last second, so we're all safe. Plus, you know what? I'm gonna want the left lane up here anyway, so let's jump in the left lane. Yeah, best breakfast in town. Oh, Stafford, yeah, you've put St. Alfred. I was like, where's St. Alfred? No, I've been to Elixir. Yeah, yeah, they're good. I like it there. Like the old brick building. On the left as you're heading west. I know Elixir. Still towing. Your dad's 85 this year. Still towing caravans. You've tried to talk him out of it. Mate, I hear you. I hear you. There's other things too. I know you're big on the trailers, caravans, and the big loads. There's a few things that I'm keen to see happen, especially for learners. Learners need to do, and because Michael has just helped his three daughters go through their licensing over the last 5 years, with the last one just getting her P's recently. Only need to do 10 hours of night driving, but nowhere does it say you need to do any hours for wet driving. So what they're saying is that night driving is more unsafe than wet driving, which I find hard to believe. So, I know. I'll tell them. So you go there, you go to Elixir that often, and if I say I know Mido, they'll look after me, or they're going to charge me a surcharge. Oh, just put the foot into the accelerator a little bit, just to go from about 80 up to the posted speed of 100. Yeah, and unfortunately, none of you guys can hear it. I will get that fixed. That is primary. Primary. Um, yeah, and I'm so I'm not sure if I let you know, but I'm heavy combination qualified. So when I was in the army, I used to drive back at 20, which was double Arctic. So that flicked across to my civvy license to be a semi trailer driver. So I've towed a few big loads myself. Um, I quite often do car trailers with cars on them these days, and have felt what it's like to get the center of balance incorrect, a little bit sort of tail heavy, because I didn't want to put too much weight on the drawbar on a particular car. But if the car, as you would know, is too far back, then you get wicked tail slappers, like terrible. So I learned very quickly to make sure that the center of balance on the trailers is that I'll just try not to use lowered cars. Most of my cars are lowered, so it's hard not to. Danger Raider, Elixir. Oh, sure. I'll give it a go next time I go in there. It's good having both you, Mido, and Maxi there. Yeah, so how much, so Max, when you did your license, you did it on the day it was wet, but how much wet weather driving did you did prior to getting your license? Because, and I mean, it's probably a while back. Was it police officer give you your license? Um, as I'm going to have to get into the right-hand lane here, because it's a bit of a merge thing happening here as we get onto the gateway. Find a spot. Everyone around here knows what's going to happen. Let's give the guy behind me a wave, and now I'm going to boot it when I get an opportunity to. But it's just that time of the darkness where it's really hard to see cars, isn't it? Oh, this thing goes. Sometimes you just need that power. All 450 horses on it. There we go. Back up to the posted speed. Charge me a danger rate. Now I have some time to get across into slightly quicker. Oh, wow. Seriously, guys. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I know back when we got our licenses, I know my learners was 10 questions. Didn't even have to drive a car, just had to answer 10 questions, get all 10 questions right, and then I was able to drive with my learners. And then to get my P's, it was a driving test plus 30 questions, and you only get to get 25 of them right. I think the first 10 pass written test. So I know that the driving tests have gotten more elaborate, but I don't necessarily think they've gotten better. I just don't think they've gotten better. RTA tester, 1972, 73. So Max, before I was born, mate. Just saying, just saying. Plenty of night wet driving while you're learning. Well, that's good. See, that's good. Not it's night driving mandatory 10 hours. If you're clever, you do a little bit more because there's less cars on the road at night. So if you've got good parents or friends that have cars, you can get out there. Excuse me. But nowhere in Queensland, nowhere does it say you need to get like 10 hours of mandatory wet driving. So I think that's something that needs to happen. And I definitely agree. I was only talking about like within this last week was that you don't need a license or an endorsement on your license to tow a trailer. I think that's crazy. I think you need one. I think it's South Australia has brought in a supercar license. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you two have heard about it. Supercar license. So the power to weight ratio of a car is more than, I think it might be more than, let me guess. Let's say about 300. No, I think it was 290 horsepower per ton, something like that. So if you're driving a vehicle that has more than 290 horsepower per ton, then you need to have a special license. And I think they've only just brought that into South Australia recently. I don't know how that would work yet. Like, as in, like, I mean, at the get go, it sounds like a great idea because I know that I'd like to have supercar on my license. Unfortunately, I'm looking to move to Adelaide anytime soon to make that happen. So, Cameron, yeah. Well, peak hour. Peak hours are good. That's a challenge to do your driving lesson during peak hour when it's raining. That's a challenge. I remember doing my P's. I failed the first day. I was a little bit quick. I think I was coming into like from an 80 zone to 60 zone, and I was still doing 66 when I hit the 60 sign, and I didn't get to pass. I went the next day. And got it the next day. So he didn't extort me for two, and I think it was like $30, an extra $30. I don't think it's that cheap these days. It's 9 grand a year my first year in the army, so $30 was a lot. What else extra do you have to do? Do you have to do a defensive driving course? You have to, you know, would you just go in and answer 10 more questions? Like, I'm not sure. Excuse me. Looking forward to catching up with you on Saturday and chatting a little bit about this sort of stuff. Have a list of stuff, mate. I'll have my notebook there. So have a list of stuff that we can talk about. Not there, but a list of stuff that I can bring up on this channel. And yeah, talk about it. Getting closer to the Gateway Bridge. Traffic's going all right. There's a fellow Lexus driver. Definitely looking forward to coming back down to Sydney though, Max. My time at I think I will definitely be down for Bathurst 1,000. Not after that is the World Time Attack, and then maybe shortly after that was Subinats. Oh, there's too many things. There's too many things. Don't mind visiting Sydney these days. I definitely won't live there again though. It's yeah, I've had enough time living in Sydney. Most of my adult life still is Sydney. A little bit of Brisbane, a little bit of Townsville, yeah, mostly Sydney. But I did like Cronulla. I do really still like Cronulla, and I still have my passport to go to the shop, so I shall be using that. I'll keep them. Yeah, 100%, Max. You will be one of the first people to know when we're heading to Sydney. And do your like get in the car and get do your it's the monitoring slogan again. Moderating. You can do your moderating from in the car if you've got a laptop. So, or if you want to drive, you can drive. Just got to drive the speed limit and not swear. They're keen to have you on board just so you can get an experience of what we do. But I'm really trying to tie in there's a certain V8 supercar driver that might live a couple of hours south west of Sydney who has said that he's keen to come for a drive. So I will try and tee up when it's not the V8 supercar weekend. So hopefully, he'll be at home, and we'll come down, go pick up a car from Sydney Airport, drive a couple of hours southwest, and go and catch up with the V8 supercar driver and have him come in the car and talk to us about how he drives on. What upsets him. I'll have a whole bunch of questions for him. He's an awesome bloke. And he won his first V8 supercar race just earlier this year. So awesome to have him on down that he's a V8 supercar winner. It's going to be fair for this truck. Have a or let the big double might want to change lanes because it depends if they're going to some drive. If he's going to go straight, he gets to the other end of the bridge. So he hasn't changed lanes yet. We're going to struggle to keep 80 k's an hour up the bridge. Yeah, I reckon we can make that with Max. Tech in the car after Dark Laws. Interesting. Is that a New South Wales thing? Watching movies while driving, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm pretty keen to know what those laws might be. When they say tech, I don't think they mean a live stream camera setup with routers and sound stuff. They probably mean phones and iPads. Brisbane looks beautiful tonight. The sunset over the over Mount Cootha looks amazing. This is why I need a 360 camera on the car so that people can look out to the sides. Yeah, New South Wales thing. Well, definitely. Well, one thing that I want to do is make sure that I research the road rules for each state and territory, and then each country that we go to. So, because that's what we're about: safe driving, road rules, driver etiquette, and motoring culture. So, I want to continue to combine all of that. Talk about a few road rules here and there, especially the ones that people just don't know. Especially when you drive interstate, like we drove to Byron Bay on Sunday, and the road rule nuances between keeping left and less overtaking in Queensland is 90 or more, and then keeping left and less overtaking in New South Wales is over 80. And even just that terminology can confuse people, even though it means exactly the same thing. So, in Queensland, you're allowed to touch your phone if it's in a cradle. They wouldn't use the word cradle. I've got a quad lock. I've got quad lock on I've got two quad lock suction caps that I'll move from car to car. As we've got our first guy, no lights, no lights. So it's officially dark. This car to our left front is no lights. They got a big reflective strip across the back. Well, oh, that's actually a light, an LED light. You know what? They've actually got their lights on. Wow. So their tail lights don't work, and they've put an LED strip across the back bump, like the back tailgate, as a tail light. So their tail lights don't work, and they've just retrofitted an LED across the tailgate as their tail lights. That's crazy. Wow, that's probably not roadworthy. So a ram mount, yeah, Ram's a good brand. Is it the Y one? It's got those like wire adjusters. They're good for bikes too. X-Holder, yeah, the X-Holder, that's the one. Yeah, so for instance, my phone is mounted just to my front right, just next to my seat, my A pillar, sorry. So it's nice and high. It's not really blocking anything because like my bonnet line is almost there, and it's right next to the A pillar. So it's really not blocking much view at all. And yeah, you're allowed to touch it. In Queensland, you're allowed to touch your phone. You're not allowed to hold it. I know you're not allowed to watch like TV. So, for instance, I would not be allowed to watch a YouTube stream, or I wouldn't be allowed to watch, say, Thursday night football. And I know, and I've heard of people that have been watching TV. I know a taxi driver that was watching a soccer match, and a motorcycle cop rode up beside him, looked across, and saw this guy watching a soccer match as he was on the highway with customers in the car. He had customers in the car, and the cop pulled him over with the customers. And he's like, "No, you can't be watching a soccer match whilst you're driving." So, so yes, so you can't touch your phone because you're allowed to. You're allowed to answer a phone call. You're allowed to like accept a phone call, hang up on a phone call. You're allowed to just do minor things like that. You can't be text messaging unless you do voice to text, like Maxie was saying before, which I do. So my iPhone will do voice to text, so I can press one button and then I'll do voice to text, and or I can even just use voice command to say, "Hey, phone, text message Max," and then I'll say what would you like to say, and then I can say it. So there are ways and means about having your phone there and utilizing it to its potential, but but hardly even touching it. Yeah. So of course you'd think passengers can do stuff, but I'll read. I'll read that. It's a bit of a big one, Max. I'm not far from home. I won't read that one just now because I'm into sort of near residential area and about 5-6 minutes from home. So I'll read that one when I get home. When am I going to finish this stream? Let me think. Nowhere exciting. But it's been great having you, Max, and Mido. Great to have you on board, brother. It's been awesome. Can't wait to see you on Saturday. Don't worry, Max. I'll come down to Sydney and see you soon. Finish in the usual spot. What, McDonald's? um, oh, the one thing I don't want to do is ever start and finish at anyone's house. So, like, if I'm picking someone up, I'll say, meet me at a car park, meet me at a train station, here, there, whatever. Somewhere cool. Like, we started the stream at Lakeside Raceway on Sunday and finished at the Lighthouse at Byron Bay. I mean, that was cool. Got a bit glitchy towards Byron, and there was no car parking up there, so we literally stopped the stream and then drove back down and went to the pub, as you do. Bought Nina a drink at the Byron Beach Hotel. I think she appreciated that. So Macca's isn't far away. We can stop the stream there. Not that I'm buying it because I don't really like it, but I can read. So I can read this now. In New South Wales, a passenger can generally use their mobile phone after dark. The phone screen must not be visible to the driver from their normal driving position. Road rules don't specifically restrict passengers from using their phones. So I mean, if your passenger in the back seat's using their phone, then you'd think that'd be all right. So basically, it's kind of focusing on the passenger. Imagine if you got a bench seat in the front, you got three people across the front, and the middle person's got their iPad on. Yeah, fair enough. That would be a bit distracting. Watching Bluey whilst driving. I'd like to say I've never done that. But being a Brisbane boy, Bluey rocks. No, but we'll just scoot across. We're just about to get onto Sandgate Road. Traffic's going to be a bit corrupt, but we just need to shoot across a couple of lanes. Then we'll just pull into McDonald's, and I'll just stop the stream at Macca's. So again, thanks for having you guys. If you go back to the start, Middo, I chuck laps around the Gold Coast racetrack, the GC 400 racetrack. I don't think you were on when I did that. So if you go back and watch the first few minutes, I pointed out the start finish line, the corners where the IndyCar track used to go, stuff like that. Remind you about Bluey? Yeah, I think I can remember that. I'll remind you about Bluey on Saturday, mate. Alrighty, I am going to. Oh, look, there's no traffic. I can get straight across in the left-hand lane. So with this Lancer in front of me, beautiful. Awesome. All right, boys, enjoy your Thursday evening. Dodge the raindrops, Maxi. Stay dry, mate. And just trying to remember, I've got steaks at home, so I'm for dinner. I could just roll on straight home after we stop the stream. And yeah, look forward to catching you guys. We'll definitely be streaming again on the weekend. I'll let you know what we're up to, Middo. And I'll see you on Saturday. And Maxi, I'll add a spanner to your name, mate. And it's my honour to have you there. So thank you very much, mate. I appreciate it and look forward to doing some awesome stuff in the future as we turn into McDonald's. Yeah. Definitely don't need to drive through. Yes. I'll just park up quickly. Right here. All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for keeping me company on the in the traffic jam that is the Gold Coast to Brisbane M1. Oh, Discord, Max. Yes, I will. I need to get that up and running. I do have one because I got one so I can look at the OPN stuff. So I do have one. I just need to make it for this channel. So I'll get that up and running. Yes, Discord for sure. That'll be one of my. I'll do that tonight. I'll do that tonight, and then I'll let you guys know. Dodger. All right. Thank you, boys. See you on Saturday. And yes, we'll be doing another stream